Hello and welcome to part 3 of my series exploring a vintage Jean Patou envelope dress, this dress to be precise. And if you haven't watched part 1 and 2, do have a look. First, because I go through a whole process of how I analyze an image like that, which is quite conceptual design, how I sort of make a little pattern cutting plan, experiment, and then how I flat pattern cut it. And you can do the same from, I would say, any existing sewing pattern, which is a sort of basic top fit. So you can either have a relaxed top or a fitted top. Either of them will work perfectly. You need sleeves as well, ideally. Or of course you can use your basic block, but this would be a really fun design to try out and see how far you can push of what we think as flat pattern cutting. And now in part 3, I really want to show you the trowel I made, talk a bit the things you would have to consider on a full scale trowels, questions I still have about this design, and I'm also going to show you how I fix the changes and also how I create the facing and lining for this at the end. Before I go through a trowel, just a little reminder that if you love the idea of designing and drafting your own clothes, so if you already love sewing and you made maybe quite a lot of commercial sewing patterns and now you want to take the next step and design your own, then do have a look at the link in the description. I've put in a great way of how you can learn with me and find out how I teach lots of people to design and draft the clothes I want to wear every day, whether it's conceptual stuff like this Jean Patou or simple tops like I'm wearing. Let's talk about the trowel. So I would have loved to make this in full scale, but time, space, fabric, all these sort of things, and also because I wasn't quite sure whether my flat pattern cutting would work, a half scale block is a really good way of trying it out. And if you haven't got one, you can even use a doll or something. It's just to see, oh, does it actually work or does it look awful on a 3D figure? Is there something else of dragging and things like that? And you can see this worked more or less out. Of course, I would love to see arms in here rather than it being empty. And if I turn it around, you can sort of see how it looks like that. If this was full scale, the first thing you would check is whether the point it hits here is the point where you want it to hit. And that's partly aesthetic. So does it look good or is it too low or too high? It's also to do partly how practical you want to be this garment. And this brings me up to the first big question I have. Because we basically have what is a grown-on sleeve, the longer you make it, which is sort of the design you want, where you want this to be quite long, like nearly sort of above the elbow. But the longer you make it, the less movement you get, because you really are sort of strapped to this position. And as I said before, all the images will always stand like this. I would still love to see, first of all, what happens when you put your arms up, because I think as soon as you put your arms above that line where they're posing, it's going to distort. So if I show you, even if I'm holding it on here, if I start raising my arm above that sort of point, can you see it's going to start distorting, and then at some point the whole dress is going to rise up, which is why they've also done it really fitted. If you did this on a shift dress, what would happen whenever you move it all, the whole dress would move up. The other thing I would really like to know on a full scale trowel and sort of wearing myself is what happens if you put your arms down. So we've talked about arms up, this might be a bit of an issue. I think arms forward will be really easy because you got full movement there. So it's a good, it's a perfect dress for sitting at the computer all day or sitting at a table, because you got full movement like this. It's just, don't pick up anything from a shelf anytime. The other thing, of course, is what happens if you put your hands down. And I think this is where this needs to have a folded design rather than separate panels. And to tell you the truth, on Pinterest, I have seen people offering their pattern solutions for it, and they put a seam all the way down to here. and then they have the front yoke as a really pointy piece. And I think if you had that would make this whole area really structured, which means that if you put your hands down, it will literally stand like that, and you have like sort of this really oversized what looks basically put like an upside down boat or something setting on your shoulders, which might not be the look you're going for. However, I think if you make this in a similar fabric to the original, which is probably either cotton or a wool and not too stiff, what will happen, it looks fantastic when you actually stand in the position, or if you're even sitting down. But I think if you put your arms down, I think it's going to drape quite nicely, and it's going to become more sort of a relaxed sleeve. So you can see if I sort of push it down a bit, this is calico, which is not the most attractive fabric, but you can see it's sort of going to just become like a grown-on sleeve. So not as beautiful as this, but it's not going to stand up because it is a draped line here on the bias. So I think in real life and real fabric, this, if you have your arms down, it's just going to fall nicely. Of course, that's me using experience, knowledge of how fabrics behave, and quite a bit of guesswork. So you wouldn't really find it out until you try it on. So now I've talked a little bit about the main questions you would have to really work out on the trial, which is really about getting these arms right. There's a few sort of smaller things you would have to consider on the fit check. Ideally, of course, you're using a made to measure basic block, which means you have all the fitting. And if you're interested in learning that's on my pattern cutting school. Or you'd be using a sewing pattern. Again, you've tried before and you know it fits. So there shouldn't be oval fitting issues. There shouldn't be a bust which is too small or too big. The main fitting issues is going to be where the shoulder has a nice line, because we just put on our sleeves and we drew in a shoulder, and getting that shoulder curve, you can think you do the best line possible on paper. You won't know 100% till you try it on. So it's always to look at this curve and see, does it follow my shoulders beautifully? Do I have puckers or not? And then what you can do is slightly recurve it on the trowel, just to pin it out or put some extra in, and then we draw it on the pattern if needed. So that is sort of a very basic fix. The other thing is a design decision. So you can see I don't think I've got enough gathers at the front. So in the first video on this dress, I actually showed a few variations, and some had more gathers, some had less, some even had the button stand at the front, so it becomes a jacket. So it's very much up to you. In theory, you don't need any gathers here. I think this of gathers there help create a little bit of softness and probably make this whole area softer, which helps with it fitting. I think if you had completely flat bodice, you can get away with it, but I think it would create fitting issues. It wouldn't look as nice. So what I'm actually going to do, I want a few more gathers here. And I also, interestingly, because my bodice block has quite a lot of ease, I think it's a little bit too loose. So I would actually make it a little bit tighter. And the great thing is, what I can do in the flat pattern cutting is two things at once. I can make it a little bit tighter in the waist and at the same time create a little bit more room. So you can either just pinch it out at the center front if this is you, or you could do 2 pinches. Either of them work. I'm going to do it in a second. And when you're pinching out, always make sure that your side seam stays where it is. So you don't want to overfit it and pull it forward. It's being quite gently. And of course, even on a fitted waist, you still want a bit of ease on a dress so you can have your lunch and dinner. On the back again, it just needs a little bit of tightening again. And I think what I actually did, I drew on the darts, but I didn't actually put them on the trowel. So I just need to pinch that out. So this is the main design change I think needs to happen with my trowel. The rest all looks good. So I'm going to do it on the table now. And at the same time, I'm also going to show you how I would actually turn what this is like a trowel pattern into a finished sewing pattern. So thinking about facings and also how we can use the facing to hold up our sleeve facing, because at the moment I've just tucked it in, which is great when it's on a little mannequin like that, but of course in real life this would just sort of collapse and, you know, would not be attractive. So I'm going to show you a way of how you can create a facing and lining which also helps to hold everything in place. Once you have it on the table, the first thing to really change is your waist. So you can see I pinned it at the center front, but what you need to do is just measure how much you pinned out, whether it's 1 pin or 2 pin. And then we're going to transfer to our bodice front. As I said, there's 2 ways of doing it. You need to measure how much you've pinned out on the waist, sort of roughly a third in towards the center front. When you draw in a line at 90 degrees up and cut into that line. Next, we can use the cut and slash in reverse to basically make it tight at the waist, like this. So you can keep the oval shape if you're happy with how many gathers you have. You literally just make the waist tighter and keep the top as it is, and just put a tiny bit of paper in and redraw the line. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up at the top at the same time and just basically add 2 more gathers into it. So I get a little bit more pleats at the top. Then you put paper underneath and just redraw your curve. I'm using my straight ruler, but of course you can also use your pattern master and just sort of reconnect it again and also redraw the waist if needed, just so you don't want a kink there. That's it. On the back you do the same. In my case I've got a dart I did not use, so I'm now just going to remark it. If you didn't have a dart before, you still follow the same. You just have to mark how much you took out and then basically draw on a new dart exactly I did, roughly at the center. Then add a bit of paper, fold it shut and either use a little of tape or pin, and then you can just recut your waist after redrawing it if needed. So you might have a kink, it might be smooth depending how big your dart is. So in my case there's a little bit of a kink, so I'm just redrawing the curve and then I'm cutting it off, and that will give me the dart shape I need. So when you open it up, you have the pattern edge which will give you a straight waist when you stitch it together. The next thing to do is to create our facing and lining. First of all, to finish it off on the inside, because a garment like that deserves to be quite beautifully made, I think, and also to catch, of course, our sleeve facing. When you're trying on the trowel, check that the sleeve facing you drafted hits where you drafted it. So mine is fine, it hits that shoulder dart, but if yours wants to go slightly forwards or backwards, pin it how it is and then extend it so it meets the shoulder dart again. What we now need to do is basically create a facing at the back and front to finish everything off nicely, but also to hold everything up. And you can see the seam on my sleeve facing will attach to the front yoke and the back yoke, or the back bodice as such. And that will create a beautiful finish on the inside. It doesn't have to be attached to the outside at all, so it won't interfere with how the garment hangs. But it just enables us to keep everything in place and also finishes it. At the back you have 2 options. You either extend the line from your sleeve facing down to the waist, when you just have a front yoke facing and a back bodice facing, or you can also create a facing for the front bodice where you would just trace the front bodice out as well. Either one works. I'm just marking where my sleeve facing ends at the back and where it hits the dart, and I'm drawing in 2 notches and I'm redrawing the line. Now I can see exactly the shape I need my back lining or back facing to be. So I'm extending it down to the point of the fold on the waist, and that's my back facing and that is my front facing. I've traced them through with seam allowance as well. And you can see how you would have them like this, and then they attach to the necklines, they attach to each other along the shoulder. So you stitch them along the shoulder first, and then there are your notches. You open it up and you attach it to your sleeve facing. So it's completely separate from the outside, and it also finishes everything beautifully. So it sits really nicely. And I would make it out of a lining fabric to get a really nice hang. If you want to line the front bodice as well, you would just extend it to the back line here, and then just stitch them together again, and then you can stitch your front lining to your sleeve facing as well. And that way you would have a beautifully finished garment inside and out, which would wear really nicely. Just make sure you use a nice silky fabric, because we're having like all the folded and layers there, so you don't want anything too sturdy. You want something which sits beautifully on your body. And that's your final sewing pattern. I do hope you enjoyed this video and found the sort of more practical steps on how to create a lining and facing helpful. And if you make this dress or your own version of it, if you try it out, I would love to see it. Please tag me, comment, or tag me Instagram, send me an email. I would love to see how this looks in real life, because up to now I've seen, I think, 3 photographs, all of them in the position like this, and I would really love to see how this dress looks on a moving body, different positions, how it works. I would love to make it, but I think it's going to take me a long time if I do, so a lot of you are more efficient than me, so do tag me if you do. I'd love to see it. And otherwise, I'd also like to hear from you in the comments. Did you enjoy the videos? Do you agree with how I would finish the sewing patterns? What did you think? What do you think about the sleeves? Do you think this is a dress for movement, or do you think it's a dress for posing and maybe a bit of typing would just be about possible? Anyway, that's it for now, and thank you so much for watching.